Hey everybody, this is Tyler from Nelly Security. How's it going? We are here with Kyle LaPach, our general manager at Nelly's, and we've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about some new products that we have at Nelly's, some stuff coming down the pipeline. We're going to talk about our new in-person event coming up, the Nelly Security Conference next month. We're all super excited about that, so you get to hear about that today. A couple of quick notes before we get started. In order to comment on the live stream here, you do need to be a subscriber to Nelly Security just because we get a whole bunch of spam comments all the time. So I believe it's 5 minutes. You have to be subscribed for at least 5 minutes before you can comment. So if you have questions for Kyle and you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe right now so that there's no delay getting your questions asked. Kyle, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on. And he has a few things to share with us. And then at the end of this, we will open this up to questions from you guys. Anything you guys have to ask, try to stump Kyle. Ask the hardest questions you can think of. So Kyle, you are live.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Happy to be here. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and hopefully more people roll in throughout the stream. Like Tyler said, if you guys have any questions at all throughout the stream, definitely let me know. Feel free to interrupt me. I'm here for the entire time, so definitely get your questions in when you can. So let's get started. So first, I'm going to talk about some of our newer products that we've brought in over the last couple of months. The first round of products I'm going to talk about is our new premium branding SKUs. So premium branding is an offering that we offer for everyone at an additional charge. So it's where we can print your logo or design on top of a product. We use a UV printer that will print the latex paint on the device, and then it dries it instantly with that UV light. So I'm just going to scroll through here and show everything that we offer along with the newer products. So we can do the premium branding on our 2 gig panels, server racks. We even sell 2 gig faceplates separately. So if you just need faceplates to swap out and from the blank ones on the branded ones, we can do that for you. Server rack blanks, we got 1U, 2U, and then we go all the way up to 4U. A 6U server rack, and then we have our PoE switches. This is our in-house brand where you can put your own logo across the top. Then we can do the 2 gig edge panel. As the page loads, we can do ZK prox cards. We can put your logo on there, or if you have a customer that has a logo for their business, you could submit that in as well. So you can have that personalized touch for the access cards for your customer. So the newer products that we brought in for premium branding, we have the Keystone wall plate, and then we have car magnets, or just magnets in general. You can stick them on the side of a car, vehicle. I've seen surveillance trailers. That has been very popular here lately with these magnets. Let's see. Oh, here I can pop it up here. So we have 2 sizes. We have a 12 by 18 and a 12 by 24. There's only a $10 price difference between the two. So how the process works when it comes to purchasing a premium branded product, you just add it to your cart and then you purchase it, and then you'll get an email shortly after asking for your logo or design that you would like on the product. Usually it comes with a template that you can put your logo on via Photoshop or any kind of photo editing software. Then you just send that back to us. Our branding department, Jared, he'll review it and then send you some proofs as to what it'll look like. And then he will, if you accept it and it looks good, we'll apply that to your account, we'll apply it to your order, get it printed out and shipped out. It can take usually 1 or 2 extra business days on top of the order, depending on how communication is between you and the branding department. So I've seen emails get left, an extra day around if it doesn't get responded right away. So definitely stay on top of that. If you purchase anything premium branded, look out for that email that gets sent to you shortly after. DJ asked, are you going to talk about the hot topic of AI and government possibly putting restrictions on AI. I honestly have not came across that. If IPVM reports it, I may read up on it more. I'm not aware of any hard restrictions that have came to our light anyway with our manufacturers, but if that's a topic that will become more popular as the time goes on, we'll definitely want to explore that and get everyone more informed about it for sure. All right, so let's pull up the Keystone wall plates. So these come in a 10-pack, and same process whenever you purchase it. You'll get that email, and it'll ask for your logo or design that you would want on the template of the Keystone Jack wall plate. And you can either have a little logo, or you can deck out the entire plate if you need to. It's all totally up to you. No additional cost on how much real estate you take up on the plate. So outside of the premium branding, we've got some new TP-Link products in that I think is very exciting and pretty useful to have, especially for in certain situations where you can't run a wire, for example. So firstly, these TP-Link Pharos radios, we've had these since we brought on the TP-Link brand, but I always like highlighting them. These are point-to-multipoint radios. So basically, you'll put one on, say, where a camera is, and then one where your NVR is. And after programming them, it's basically like establishing a hardline connection between the two. They do require a line of sight between the two radios. That is one key factor that you have to keep in mind if you do consider these in an install, is the clear line of sight. But yeah, those are great radios. We sell them by the box, it seems like, or by the case. This newer product we brought in, this little portable router, here, I'll bring it up on the main stream. So the significance of this little router is the fact that it supports, it's called client mode. So basically it can pick up a Wi-Fi signal and then convert it to an RJ45 connection or an Ethernet connection. Why would you need this? So for example, if you can't hardwire your NVR to your router, you can get one of these and plug your NVR into it, and then it connects to the Wi-Fi, essentially turning your NVR into a Wi-Fi capable NVR in a sense. Kian Web 28 said, "Do you smell Hikvision cameras?" I do not. I've opened up plenty of them over the years, but I haven't gone out of my way to smell any, to be honest. Let's see. So we got that new portable router in from TP-Link. Let's see, what is the other product we brought in? Yes, so we brought on this Omada cloud controller. So the significance of this is that, say you have a managed network and you need to be able to, say, manage the throughput of a certain switch you have on a network, or you just need to monitor a remote network, or you have a client that needs something rebooted via PoE and you can't get on site anytime soon. Well, this cloud controller allows you to see all the devices connected to it remotely and allow you to log into them and configure them and such. So it's a nice component, especially if you have multiple clients that you're trying to manage at once and you don't need to go out to site every single time to do little maintenance jobs. Oh, sell Hikvision, not smell. We do not sell Hikvision. We did for the longest time. We carried OEM Hikvision, but due to the FCC rulings and NDAA compliance, we dropped them a couple of years ago. So the brands that we carry right now on the CCTV side, we carry Uniview, R Series, which is OEM RaySharp, and then we just brought on Hanwa. That's our newer line that we brought on. That's to help out with the TAA, NDAA compliance. Just, you know, spreading or diversifying our portfolio, basically. So let's see here. We'll go back over here to premium branding. So those were the newer TP-Link products that we brought in. Nothing too insane, but they're extremely versatile. They're great in most situations where you can't run a cable to an NVR device. Let's see here. So the next topic I'd like to bring up is the Nelly Security Conference. So that's going on next month, May 19th. It's a Friday here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you do have a dealer account with us and you want to attend, definitely do fill out this RSVP form. We're going to be able to get ID badges made for any dealer that's RSVP'd. So whenever you show up and sign in, we'll give you a badge with your company name, website, your name, position. So it's going to be very legit. But yeah, that's nellysecurity.com/NSC-2023. All right. Let's see. So we could talk about Hanwa. That's the newest brand that we brought on. We've been making content slowly for this brand over the last few weeks. So right now we have the A series line, which is their lower end, more competitive pricing towards Dahua and Hikvision. It's NDAA compliant. It's the A series from Hanwa is not TAA compliant since it's made in Vietnam, I believe. But we've got 8 and 16 channel NVRs as well as a 4-channel. We've got domes, bullets, turrets. 4 megapixel. That's the new standard nowadays when it comes to resolution. 1080p or 2 megapixel. That was the high and mighty resolution till over the last couple of years. Seems like 4 megapixel has really taken off. Got all the mounting solutions for all the cameras on the A series line. Now we do have access to the entire Hanwa catalog. So if there's a Hanwa product that you don't see on our website, definitely reach out to us and we can get you pricing and availability on it. Just to give you a good idea on that, we have the ability to special order anything if we need to, and we're slowly expanding it. We're trying to just make sure we do make the right moves when it comes to bringing on the proper product and list it on our website. Let's see. Are there any questions at all? What type of things will be showcased at the event? Great question. So it's mainly going to be more one-on-ones between the dealer and the manufacturer, just to get faces to names and faces to brands. There will be a live training going on during the event. So if you want to sit and watch the training or attend the training, you can, or if you'd like to walk around to the different booths and talk to the manufacturers, you can. There's going to be giveaways. There's going to be one-on-ones, a lot of interaction between dealers and manufacturers. Just getting a lot of networking going on. It's just an event we want to get everyone together for, and I feel like it's going to be a fun time. R series is better than A series. That's always subjective, but R series is great, A series is great. I have no complaints between either line right now. Handful of tranquility. Why aren't more cameras available with more zoom than 2.8 millimeter lens? For those of us with bigger areas, some tighter zooms would be better, but variable zoom not always needed. Let's see, bigger areas, some tighter zooms would be better. So if you need more zoom than what a standard varifocal can do, we usually recommend a PTZ. Now, if you're needing wider than 2.8, we do carry this. We have a couple of wide-angle cameras from Uniview. Tyler, if you can go back over to my computer really quick. So we just brought this on. We have both a turret and a bullet version of this. So this is a 180-degree, 5 megapixel single lens camera from Uniview. We've done live streams on this in our dealer Facebook group. We've made videos on it just to show some clips of how it looks. Great camera. I have zero complaints about it. We've been, as soon as we brought it on, it seemed like it was a hot seller almost immediately. Now, if a 180-degree view isn't exactly what you're looking for, if you're looking for something a little bit narrower, we have a wide-angle dual lens bullet from UniView as well. So it utilizes two 4mm lenses, and it essentially splices them together on the live view to make it a single 160-degree field of view. Great camera. Only cons I have for it is the vertical field of view isn't super great, and then it doesn't really have any smart event support. So there's no line crossing, intrusion detection, or anything. So you have to depend on human body detection with this camera. That 180-degree turret, it has all the smart events like line crossing and intrusion. So those are really the pros and cons between the two. TUI audio, that's what the dual lens bullet has. So that is something that the 180 doesn't have. So you just got to give and take with the pros and cons between the two. And you can always reach out to us, email, phone, chat, any way you can contact us. We'll be able to get you, the best recommendation possible. Where is Hanwa manufactured? So they're mainly manufactured in Vietnam and South Korea. That is what I've been told, and that's what I've read about the brand. They recently they're doing a rebranding. They're Hanwa Vision now, not Hanwa TechWin. So it seems like they're trying to kind of move into a different direction when it comes to naming, manufacturing, and everything, which makes sense with how the times are nowadays. Let's see, any more questions at all? Yeah, not seeing anything. If upgrading from Hike Vision to Hanwa outdoor turret, Cat 5 PoE cameras, can you use the same camera mounts as with Hike Vision? More than likely not. When it comes to mounting solutions between manufacturers, they're pretty proprietary between each other. I've had guys ask if there are any universal mounts. I haven't found one unless you just take a black or a gray J-box and just screw the camera to it. But if you take a Hike Vision junction box and then a Hanwa junction box, none of the holes would probably line up. You'd maybe get one or two, but it wouldn't be an official like one-for-one comparison between the two. You'd probably have to change out the junction boxes as well, which I've seen that happen too many times, especially when changing brands, which it happens, especially if you've got a whole system that goes down, or you just want to upgrade to something new where it's been 10 plus years since you've had your system upgraded, and that brand either doesn't exist anymore or it's outdated and there's a new brand that's more popular. So that's how technology is. Let's see. So R series or OEM Ray Sharp. We brought on two new models for them. So we got a 4K mini PTZ. Let's see, we can pull that up here. Oh, let's see, 4K PTZ. So this guy is great. It took a minute for us to be able to keep this model in stock. When we first brought it on, it sold out immediately, and lead time from the manufacturer isn't great. So we're a lot more prepared with the second batch, and we're ready for everyone to start purchasing this thing. So the significance of this camera is there's a few significances. So one, it's a 4K or 8 megapixel. It's 4x optical zoom. It has red and light deterrent lights, and then it can do two-way audio, or it can also use its speaker as like a siren or deterrent siren. It's a 2.8 to 12 millimeter, which is 4x zoom. And then the price point is just, I haven't seen anything that comes close to that with what all it can do. Gerardo Q99, any tips on mounting a dome camera on a drop ceiling, suspended ceiling? You can go a few different ways. I've seen guys put like a, like a piece of plywood behind the ceiling tile to help secure the camera to it, or like a 2x4 or any kind of piece of wood you can put behind it, or toggle bolts. Those work pretty well. The least amount of damage you can do to the ceiling, the better. DJ, what PTZ dome camera the best for indoor for your house? So right now, we do not carry a dome PTZ camera. We did from the H series line or Hike Vision back in the day, but none of our brands right now have a dome style PTZ. So my advice to you on that would be just do your most research possible. If you find one online or on Amazon, go to YouTube, search it, look at spec sheets, maybe contact the manufacturer or a distributor that carries it, see what their input is on it. But yeah, till then, do your best due diligence on research. And once we do carry one, we'll let everyone know for sure. Let's see, Brandon, Hobby Lobby sells small planks that work well with toggle bolts. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. You can go to Hobby Lobby, Lowe's, Home Depot. I know material costs aren't the greatest right now anyway. Let's see, any other questions at all? I'm here for as long as I need to be. So if questions start rolling in, we'll shut the stream down. Yeah, we can talk about some newer products. Or Tyler, you got anything?
Sorry, I was muted. I was just going to go back to what you're talking about for premium branding, which we do have some content coming on, landing either this week or next week about that from Matt. He just made a pretty cool video showcasing all of our branding stuff, so that's going to be pretty sweet. But like he mentions in that video, we're always looking for new stuff to brand. So if anybody has any suggestions, we're open to that. Awesome.
Yeah, we've got this big premium brander that we've just been trying to generate ideas on what to print on. So, the magnets and those wall plates were more recent ideas that we executed on. So, yeah, shoot us any kind of ideas that you guys might have. We're open to any and all ideas that might work. If it doesn't work, no problem. We'll just let you know. But if it does work, I mean, it can lead to a lot of potential.
Yeah, definitely keep checking back because we're adding new stuff all the time. Now it's even easier to find on our website, like Kyle showed earlier. You can just click the button right there on our navigation bar. It shows you everything we have that's premium branded. It used to be a lot harder to find, but now go in there every couple of weeks and see what we have to offer. Maybe we have some new stuff to show.
Absolutely. Awesome. Looks like Lee's page, 5 megapixel analog coax dome, $30 on Amazon. Hey, that looks like a decent deal. We also have some coax cameras on our site as well. Now, if you're trying to reference the PTZ, though, I would just do your best research. I can't imagine you get a coax PTZ for $30, but we do carry analog cameras. Tyler, if you can go back to my computer. Awesome. So to find analog cameras, you can go to all categories, video surveillance, security cameras, and click on that. Then we got two sections. We have IP cameras and then HD TVI. So you'll click on HD TVI. And then this shows all the analog cameras that we carry. It's not super diverse, but we cover as many bases as possible. So we carry 2 megapixel and 8 megapixel over coax, and then turret and bullet. And then we have, if you see star in the model number, that means it has a low light lens on it as well. Let's see. Custom video security, any solar cameras kits that can be mounted on parking lot poles. So right now, we do not have any solar solutions, but I have heard some news from a couple of our manufacturers that might be offering like a plug-and-play solution where we can plug our cameras onto their solar solution. but it's not quite out yet. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say any more about it because it had confidential written all over it whenever they were showing it to me. But yeah, we'll keep an eye out later this year from us for a solar solution, hopefully. Jonathan Saul, I have a client with 60 acres, 30 parking lots, no power, 18 sub-transformers. What do you recommend for monitoring parking while connecting sub-transformers to data services? That is a really good question. There are third-party monitoring services. One that we like to recommend is called COPS Monitoring. And I'm not sure on the details on how they would be able to work with you in that sort of situation, but if you go to copsmonitoring.com and just give them a shout, see what they have to say in your scenario, and hopefully they can either give you a solution or maybe point you in the direction of a better solution. Cradle points are very important when it comes to remote locations or LTE routers, just to get that cellular connection. But yeah, and then solar is very important as well when you're out in remote areas. Alan Dawson, when is the next big sale? Probably the next holiday, bigger holiday, Memorial Day, I believe, is in May. But we also have the security conference that same month, so we may kind of blend the two together, have like a big sale for May. But that's to be determined anyway. We're really focusing on the security conference, so I'm sure we'll do something sale-wise in line with that. Pritesh Patel, fairly new here. Any wireless camera available with solar panel powering option? So we carry Wi-Fi capable cameras, but you still have to have 12-volt DC ran to them. But if you're connecting a solar panel to them, that kind of goes hand in hand, so you can get the 12-volt from the solar. With that being said, I've seen installers or customers, they'll take our cameras and connect it to their own solar solution that they either design themselves or purchased elsewhere. That's really all I can recommend right now, is to use our cameras and then design the array elsewhere and connect our cameras to it until our manufacturers or we get a contact that can supply a solar solution for us. But when it comes to wireless cameras, Uniview, that's where I would probably recommend with their Wi-Fi based cameras. They have domes. They have a cube camera, which that's not outdoor rated. So if you're looking for something outdoor rated that can connect to Wi-Fi, they've got a couple of PTZs, a dome. I think they have a bullet that can talk to Wi-Fi as well. But all of those, you still have to run 12-volt DC to them. All right, let's see. Any more questions? Well, if there are no more questions, we can go over a few more products. Or unless, Tyler, do you have anything you'd like to hop in?
No. If you have more stuff to show, go for it.
Yeah. I was going to show off like the dual lens PTZ. Let's try to find it here. Let's see if we can search for it. Cool. Thankfully, our website has a pretty decent search feature on it. So we just brought this on a couple of months ago. It's something that I would love to get more exposure on. We've already made some content on it, but I just love spreading the word about this camera. So it's a dual lens PTZ. So it has a fixed pano camera on the top, and then it has a PTZ lens on the bottom. So the benefits to this camera is mainly you've got that general overview camera, and then you've got your PTZ that is zoomed in and or looking at high value areas. You can do trigger-based events. So say, for example, if you have an event triggered on the fixed lens on the PTZ, you can have the PTZ go to a certain preset, or you can have it start auto-tracking whatever triggered the event from the fixed lens. Or you can even just have the PTZ have its own event and have it do triggers from there. Now this uses a single RJ45 connection, but it does use 2 channels on an NVR, and I really recommend sticking with a UniView NVR with any kind of UniView camera that takes up more than 1 channel, just for the most compatibility out of it. Barney Canuck, are you making an update to your recommendations for doorbell cameras? So that's always been a fun subject to talk about. So from what the manufacturers have told me, there is a doorbell being talked about and hopefully designed, but nothing in production yet. So hopefully we get more news later this year and it materializes more. But as of right now, I don't have any subscription-free doorbells that support OnVIF or can connect to NVRs. We do have our Alarm.com doorbells, of course, and then AccuVox, they have their video intercoms, but all of those involve subscriptions and then even a dealer account with us to even be able to purchase that equipment. So yeah, doorbells are always fun to talk about. We do have one over on our garage sale page. Here, let me paste that here. So it's from the brand Eco4Life. We've had this for a little bit now, $60. Good little camera. It's Wi-Fi based. You can charge it via USB. It comes with that wireless chime that can connect to it. So that way you can have it plugged into your house somewhere. You don't have to wire a chime to it. It has its own dedicated app. No OnVIF, no RTSP, so it's very proprietary. But if you're just looking for a doorbell, this thing works great. I had it mounted out by our warehouse, so anytime UPS or a carrier stopped by and we didn't catch them, they could just ring the doorbell and it'd ring the chime, you know, in the warehouse. So had a good use case for us when we were testing it. Alan Dawson, does the fixed portion of the PTZ rotate vertically? It does. So I'll let me pull that back up here. So if you pull this up full screen, you'll see this little knob on the side of the fixed lens, and that tilts it up and down vertically, just so you can get the best image possible or best view possible. Brett McGee, what does it take to become a dealer? That is a very good question. We really look out for a few big things whenever you apply to become a dealer with us. One, are you already in the industry? Are you already an installer? How do we find that out, or how do you tell us? If you have a website, social media, business card, or even if you have an alarm license for your state or city, that is proof to let us know that you're advertising your services and that you're in the industry. Now, if you're a reseller and not an installer, then you could show us your e-commerce site, social medias, reseller's license, any kind of proof just to show that you're legit, basically. We don't allow just anyone into our dealer program, thankfully, and that gives that exclusivity for anyone that does get accepted or is already a dealer with us, to know that you're in good hands and you won't get price competition with your end user, for example. So there's that that exclusivity with being a dealer with us. You get a lot of perks when it comes to being a dealer with us, such as you get the free branding, and then you get recommendations. So if someone calls in and they're looking for an installer, and you just so happen to be in the area of that person that called in, we'll more than likely send them your contact info, so that way they can reach out to you and see if it works out between the two when it comes to the install. You know, you get discounted pricing, you get higher priority tech support, just a lot of great perks that comes with being a dealer with us. You know, you can keep scrolling down on this page. This is nellysecurity.com/dealers, or you can just click the dealers tab at the top of our page, and it breaks it down really well. Branding is very important. It's a great marketing tool. Free of charge, 100% free. We really try to push that for everyone. But here's the dealer application. You know, we just ask for some vital information before you submit it. when you'd like to have a phone call, that's part of the process is a phone call. You got to talk to someone here before we can approve you. Just that way we can get a better idea of where you are trying to go with your business and just try to help you out and make sure that we can be a good fit together and all the good business stuff or business interactions. Let's see. Any other questions? So one section on our website, I know that not too many people talk about very much. We actually write up quite a bit of blogs. Usually goes hand in hand with our content, especially if it's a very thorough piece of content. Lots of information in these blogs. Say for example, that 4K PTZ I mentioned from our series. It goes in, breaks down all the features of the camera, shows you the pricing, more in-depth pictures on not just the camera itself, but it shows you the app and all the little details that may go involved with the web interface of logging into the camera, installation, and then sometimes we go even more thorough on these blogs. This is just a fairly basic camera, so we don't go too in-depth on anything that's basic. But yeah, our blogs are a great place to go for information if you're looking to read up on any product that we carry. Another great resource is our support section. So if you go there, it's full of guides that we've made ourselves. We try to update this as much as we can, or anytime there's a need for a guide, we'll make one for a specific scenario that comes up, and it's a very common issue. We'll definitely make a guide for it, just so we're not repeating ourselves over and over like a broken record. But for example, you can go to UniView IP camera guides. It tells you from initial setup all the way to remote viewing and advanced guides, like uploading an audio clip to some of the deterrent cameras, set up FTP, and we even have access control guides like wiring diagrams, and then specialty guides, our old H-series doorbell that we used to carry, PVM, public view monitor, and then the UniView LPR. This to show how to install and configure it. It shows you all the little details that you need when it comes to installing these products, which is very, very helpful, especially when a lot of this stuff doesn't come with very much documentation from the manufacturer. So that's where we come in. We try to give everyone as much information as possible on this stuff. Let's see. Let's go back to Nelly Security. Let's see, Nathan Egan. I haven't looked recently, but I have seen you sell Axis cameras in the past. Are you still doing that? And if so, will you be getting more models? So from what I've been told, Axis actually sells direct. I could be wrong on that at this point, but from what I was last told, Axis sells directly to the end user or the client. So the distribution isn't super needed for that. Let's see. Okay, we locked up there. But yeah, if we ever come across, like an overstock sale of Axis and it looks to be something good to resell, then yeah, we may list it over on the garage sale page. But right now, when it comes to like a non-Chinese brand, we're really pushing the Hanwa brand. They're one of the top competitors to Axis, so we really want to push those guys as much as we can. And last I heard, it's not super easy to get Axis equipment either right now. So Hanwa is readily available. There are a couple of models we've seen that are a little difficult to get, but they've got alternatives that are easy to replace with, so that they're a lot more flexible with us, which has been a great addition to our product lineup. Let's see.
All right, Kyle, you were talking about this the dual lens PTZ earlier.
Yeah,
I went and plugged it in and pulled up the interface. If you want me to throw this up, maybe you can talk about what it looks like.
yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
Nathan just asked, will you get the dual camera Hanwa cells in soon? So we are looking to expand to some of those multi-lens cameras or the panoramic cameras. So yeah, definitely stay tuned to that. I want to expand the Hanwa line as much as I can. So it'll get there. Definitely stay patient. And if there is a model, like I said earlier in the stream, that if you see on the Hanwa's website and we don't have on ours, give us a shout, and then we can look up pricing and availability for you and get that special ordered. All right, so it looks like Tyler, he's logged into that dual lens PTZ that we have mounted out on our warehouse. So you can see the two lenses or two channels. The top one is the fixed pano lens, and then the bottom one is the pan tilt zoom channel or lens. As a 25x zoom, which is, it's great. We always do the Taco Bell test where we'll zoom in on the Taco Bell sign across the street, and that usually tells us if it has a decent zoom or a decent picture or not at that level of zoom. But yeah, 4 megapixel, both lenses are. And I think the biggest factor of this camera is like the linkage between the two channels. Can you go into setup, Tyler? Cool. And then intelligent. Yeah, and then, yeah, what's this? It's kind of small on my screen. There we go. Cool. So it's actually, let's click on smart over in the far left, and we'll just go into like a basic event like line crossing or intrusion. Cool. So from here, we could say, for example, just draw a quick line. Awesome. And then the cool thing about UniView, the deep learning AI, is over on the far right, you can actually click on those check mark boxes where it says detection object, and the line or the event won't trigger unless if one of those criteria is matched. So say if you only want motor vehicles to be triggered that crosses that line, then you can only have that check mark box enabled, and then you won't get humans or animals that go by triggering it. It'll just be vehicles. So yeah, we'll hit save, and then I think there's the trigger action tab that's kind of behind the live view of the picture there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, so there's the panoramic linkage, yep, on the left side. So that is the linkage action where it'll allow the PTZ to start auto tracking whenever the pano lens event gets triggered. So it has that that linkage between the two channels. Now, if you don't want the fixed lens camera to have any kind of trigger action like that, you can actually switch into the PTZ channel and do the linkage at the PTZ itself. This camera also has deterrent functionality, it looked like, as well. That's probably why. There we go. Cool. So this is the PTZ channel, and it basically gives you the same amount of events that the fixed lens has. Now, we do have a smaller version of this dual lens PTZ. It's only a 4x zoom, and the smart events are only in the fixed lens portion. So you have to really utilize that that linkage action between the two lenses if you want the PTZ to be triggered by an event. But thankfully, this higher end PTZ, it has the events per channel, so that's really nice. So yeah, you can do the same exact configuration of the event in the PTZ. You just have more flexibility with where the event will be. Nathan Egan again, he said, do you know if UniView is working on a firmware update so you can use the web interface of the camera without an extension? So from my experience, there already are some UniView cameras that don't require a full-on plug-in to at least get basic functionality out of it. As in 100% plug-in free later down the road, I feel like that's where all these manufacturers are eventually going to lead to. They haven't given us an exact date or an announcement, but I would imagine they'll eventually roll one out. Yeah, it seems like plug-in free is the route that everyone's going here lately, which is fine. I enjoy plug-in free. Anytime I'm logging into something and it doesn't prompt to install something right away, or it tells you to go to a specific browser. So the browser support is getting better over the years, it feels like, thankfully, finally. Let's see. We can do this, Tyler. If you click on Setup on that PTZ, and then click Common in the top left. Oh, yeah, and then Local Parameter. And then do you see an object? Oh, Intelligent Mark. Yeah, there you go. And then, yeah, turn on that object. What does it say next to it? Okay, yeah, let's turn that on. And then on your keyboard, do Control, Alt, Shift, and Y at the same time. And then click on that Demo tab. And then, let's see, click on Intelligent. Sorry, over on the far left under Demo. Yeah. And then Untriggered, is that on? Okay, yeah, it's on, cool. So then that's supposed to allow you to show you like all the highlights of cars driving by and such, and if it's triggering an event or not. It's pretty cool to see. I don't know if it was showing it or not whenever you go back over to live view. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. That's all right. It basically, oh, okay. I see now. It's a little difficult for me to see on through the software. It looks like the streaming software. Cool. Well, are there any other questions at all? We've been live for looks like almost an hour now. It's been flying by. Well, Tyler, I have nothing else to go over for this stream anyway.
Awesome.
I'm open to any questions in the next minute or so. But if anyone does have any questions or anything at all after this stream, you can give us a shout. You can, let me get, the number is 855-340-9999. Or you can give us an email. It's customerservice@nellysecurity.com. And then we also have a chat program on our website that pops up that you can shoot us a message there as well, which if you shoot us a message after hours, we'll get an email or a ticket made, and then we'll respond to you the next business day. Our operating hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Central. You know, we usually work a little bit later, a little bit earlier, but 9 to 5 is our operating hours. Just to put that out there. Got a message from DIY Dan. I've had my NVR for about 6 weeks, and I'm getting illegal access alerts about 4 times a week. So that can be a handful of things. The first thing I would look at is if there's any kind of IP address correlated with that illegal access alert. You might have to go into the logs of your NVR. If it's like a public IP, for example, you might have something trying to log in from outside your local network. If that is the case, I would, one, disable port mapping on your NVR or UPnP. That basically opens up ports in your router just automatically, especially if your router has that turned on as well. Then that basically opens up your NVR to, to the world. So I would turn that off, double check your router, make sure, they don't have any port forwarding rules turned on. If that is your way of accessing your NVR's port forwarding, I would consider looking into a cloud or P2P option if your NVR supports it. It's a little bit more secure. It's over the cloud, so that way you're not opening up holes in your network. But yeah, that's what I would look for. Those legal access alerts can get tricky sometimes, and I've ran into them with customers before, and it always seemed like someone was trying to log in remotely, or they've found the login to your NVR, but they just start spamming it with anything they can to try to get logged in. But at the end of the day, they're just locking your NVR with a ton of random requests. So yeah, it's really important to get that situated right away. And the foolproof plan is to just disconnect it from the internet for the time being if you need to. Just unplug it from your router, because at least then, if the cameras are plugged into the back of the NVR, you can still get the recording and then the local viewing and such, until you're able to see how your outside network is and all the communications with that, which I'm no networking guru, but I know a few things on how to keep the NVR from being logged in, securely or insecurely. All right.
Cool.
Well,
Kyle, thanks so much for
absolutely.
being
Thanks
here
for having me, Tyler.
Taking the time to answer everybody's questions.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always great to get some more perspective, get some more voices on the YouTube channel. So
yeah, for sure. We need to do more on YouTube. Everyone, please go give our YouTube page a like, follow, subscribe, as many views as you can. Comment on the videos. I look over all the YouTube videos or comments as much as I can daily. So comment on them. Get that interaction going, and if this keeps rolling, we'll do more live streams more often.
Yeah, for sure. We'd love to get more consistent with this, maybe once a month or so.
Absolutely. One last plug I'd like to do is our security conference, Nelly Security Conference in May. I really want to hype that up as much as possible. So if you're an integrator, installer, reseller, if you're in the industry, please RSVP. Check it out. It's at a hotel venue, so the hotel's right there. It's right off the highway, very easy to get to from the airport. There'll be food, drinks, there's plenty of entertainment. So we're trying to do our best to make sure everyone is fulfilled when they come, and I'll make sure it's worth it for everyone that comes to the event.
Sure, Tulsa's a fun place. Come join us.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right, well, if there's no more questions, I'll go ahead and shut down this stream.
Okay.
And we will see you guys in the next video.
Yeah,
thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.